We're on the road with Noble Outfitters and we are in Marysville, Kansas at Valley Vet Supply. We're going to find out some fun things about what Valley Vet Supply has done for over 30 years to supply all the farms and ranches with their veterinary supplies all over the country and even outside the country. But even more interesting, you're going to find out some fun facts about how Marysville, Kansas has played its role in the Pony Express.
In the mid-1800s, America was pushing west and expanding at a rate unknown to any previous civilization. Americans pursued their dreams and unlimited opportunity. But they needed food, equipment, seeds, and tack to press on beyond the established cities and towns already settled. Out of this demand, a new retailer was born, the general store, who handled everything a westward family would need to survive. Today, these retailers provide rural Americans the same materials, service, and expertise that made them invaluable over 150 years ago. Join Noble Outfitters as we rediscover the retailing backbone of America. Hear their story in their own words, how they've not only survived, but actually thrived in the modern world. Come along as we go on the road with Noble Outfitters.
We're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and here with me inside the Valley Vet Supply, I've got Julie Haggard and Lori Juneman, and they have worked at this store for quite a while.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
23 years.
23 years for Julie, and
11 plus.
And 11 plus for Lori. I like that. So typically, as I go around the country and I see these beautiful stores, they're interesting because what's happened over the years is when the settlers were moving out west, the stores, the general store, was supplying them with whatever they needed. So they ended up with kind of a crazy mix of products for a store, you know. So one of the things that I find fun just kind of popping in here today, and I want you to tell me a little bit about what's going on, but also this is kind of like the tip of the iceberg for this company because there is a store here, but really the action here is what's going on in the back. The mail order, the veterinary supplies that are sent all over the country. But one thing I gotta mention is that I've never been to a supply store, you know, a general store that has formal wear, and rental. So how did that come about?
I think it was just a need for the area. We have several smaller schools around the area, so they'll have to have tuxes for prom. There was not a prom dealer in town, so.
I love it. And you know, and that's the aspect of this type of store. This is the general store. This is the mom and pop, the small business of America that takes care of its local clientele. So they need tuxedos, we're gonna get them and rent them for you. You need toys for the kids when you're coming in and you're shopping, we're gonna take care of it for you. So I love that. I love that aspect about the store. So how did you even get started here?
Well, I came here directly out of high school. When I started at Valley Vet, everyone started in the warehouse. You had to go back there, learn the product, learn how to box it, pack it, pull it. Therefore, when you got to the phones, you knew exactly what kind of product you were dealing with, and it helped you with the end user.
So you did customer service, you did warehouse work, you did everything.
I've actually done everything in the building, yes.
I like it because, you know, you took a pie chart and you said, okay, what does the store do? I mean, the store's a sliver of the business. Most of it is the mail order business, which is kind of interesting too because mail order, Marysville, Kansas, the Pony Express, you know, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. It's meant to be, yeah, out here in kind of no man's land, Kansas, you know. So we're gonna go from tuxedos, we're gonna find out what's going on in the rest of the store, and then we're gonna go back in the back and show you some interesting things about what happens here at Valley Vet Supply. So tell me a little bit about what you are servicing your customers with here in the store.
Basically anything and everything, I guess. We have a dog and cat section and cattle section, horse, swine, goat, and sheep.
Interesting, I'm looking at this and I know it's not a doghouse, but it is a what?
That's a calf heater.
A calf heater.
Royal Heat. Royal Heater is the official name.
Okay, so it's a royal heater. So calf gets born. It's cold. I know it's cold here. Trust me.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've been out there, and
Calves are wet. when they're born. So they put the little guys in there, and there's a heater unit in there, plug it in, it gets them warmed up. Keeps the farmer from taking the calf in the house. I mean, that's
And needing
what you
to,
used to.
so
Right.
they can keep them outside and keep them nice
Keep it
and
near
warm.
mom and
Right.
Yep.
So if I'm ever in need of a calf warmer or a tuxedo or a pair of work boots or some jeans or whatever, this is the place to go.
We've got it.
I love it. Lori, it's been a pleasure. I want you to show me around in the back. I want you to take me back there so we can see the fellas and find out what makes this place tick from a veterinarian supply side.
Sounds good.
Okay. Now we're going to get back into the inner sanctum of Valley Vet and Supply, and we're going to talk to Arnold Negley and Ray Schultz, the two founders of this beautiful company. Arnold, how are you?
Good, Dan.
Ray, thank you for your hospitality
Thank
today.
you, Dan.
I've had a great time looking around and seeing some of the craziest supplies you could possibly imagine, everything from a tuxedo to a calf warmer. But tell me a little bit about how this got started.
Well, we began our veterinary practice here in 1973, and about 12 years later, we thought maybe we could sell our understanding of these products and the products themselves into a much broader market.
Now, one of the things you said when you said we started, did you guys actually start out as partners in the vet business?
Ray came along shortly after in 1976, and we've had a long-term partnership here.
So tell me a little bit about from being veterinarians and then thinking about actually being able to supply people, you know, outside of just your veterinary shop. How did that come about? Because the catalog, the mail order, I mean, it's a massive operation. How did that get started?
Well, back in those years that I mentioned in our early years here, farmers and ranchers were doing more and more of their own animal health work. They got the veterinarian to do the more extensive things, diagnostics, surgery, etc. So we kind of fed into that market that was happening and supplied those products to those farmers and ranchers, and with some advice and help on their understanding of how to use them. And then that quickly evolved into expanding into equine markets with equine tack and a 4-color catalog, etc., which took us away from the practice of veterinary medicine, but yet it dealt with the supplies and the rearing and the care of these animals, which we enjoy.
So I understand you've got quite a few items here to offer the customer out there. How many actually products do you have?
I think we're at around 18,000 items, distinct individual items.
18,000 different items. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd like to go back and kind of walk through the warehouse and just kind of see, you know, how many different items there are, and take a look at all those, because I think it's very interesting to our, you know, people out there watching the show to say, you know, all the different products they could get from one place. Saves them a lot of time, you know, so they don't have to be, you know, going to a store or drive into a store. They could actually get it on mail order. You know, and today, ordering online has become a big thing. So it's great that you are a local store that does support your local community, but then on the other hand, through the internet, you could supply the whole country.
That's true.
That's great. All right, well, let's go back in the back and take a look. So with 150,000 square feet and all these SKUs and people picking and packing and shipping orders out, you guys got to be pretty proud of yourself, you know, to start out as veterinarians and come up with an idea of how to ship product to people and how to help them out. And before you know it, you know, over 30 years, now you got this beautiful company.
Well, thanks. It's evolved over the years, obviously, and we've had lots of good employees to help us along the way.
I think that's one of the most important things about a small business, is when a small business is out there taking care of their customer, it's different, you know. It's more of a friendship, you know, where you're really taking care of your customers. And I'm sure that you've had customers that you've had since you began the practice and began shipping, you know, so that's always a fun thing.
That's right. We try to be A to Z supplier for these equine folks. They can get their vaccines and dewormers and pharmaceuticals from us, but also a great line of supplements and tack of all sorts, saddle pads and winter horse blankets. And so we try to have it all for convenience for them. Prompt shipping, we ship the same day you call your order in or put it in online. And we try to have really good, friendly customer service.
Absolutely. Well, you must have great customer service to start out 30 years ago with sending out your first catalog, and now you have 150,000 square feet. And I understand you've got about 50,000 square feet also across the street with some more storage.
Well, we do. Those are larger items that don't mix well with these smaller packages for shipping. So there are ship alone items. You know, maybe it's a saddle, maybe it's a show box for a 4-H'er, things like that. 50-pound bag of a supplement of some sort. So those larger things go by themselves by UPS, and they're warehoused over across the street.
You know, I was rummaging around and I found myself in a room that was a big cooler. So it was like, you know, I'm a chef. I came from the restaurant business. I walked in there. I was like going into the walk-in, only instead of meat and produce in there, there was tons of supplies again.
That's our vaccines for equine and cattle and swine and canines and felines. And the whole line of vaccines are refrigerated, and we ship them overnight with ice packs and insulated containers, so they get there next day in really good condition and don't have to worry about compromise in potency or quality.
Right. Well, Arnold, thank you very much for the time out here and the hospitality. Ray, you guys sure must be proud of yourselves. I mean, it's great. It's America, right? A great American story, you know. To start out, go to school, become a vet, you know, get together, start a partnership, create a great business, and service the great farm and feed business and ranches out there across the country. That's what this country's made of.
It's a good industry to be in with the farm folk. We like that.
Yeah, they're nice people, they're good people. We want to continue the growth of the small business in America. I think it's a very important thing for everybody to understand, to support that small local business that supports their local community, just as we've seen here at the store. So we love that, and we want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for your hospitality today.
Thanks for coming today.
All right, fellas, thanks a million. Okay, you bet. Coming up next, we're going to meet Charles Weichert, who's going to tell us a little bit about the historic Pony Express station here in Marysville, Kansas. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and interestingly, here in Marysville, Kansas, is one of the stops for the Pony Express, a historic place where the mail used to go through. And now, at Valley Vet Supply, they mail stuff all over the country in a completely different way. So if you think about it, you've got the Pony Express delivering mail by horse, and now internet orders coming from all over the country being serviced right here from where the Pony Express used to stop. I have with me today Charles Weichert. Charles, glad to meet you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Are you part of this Pony Express Museum down here in Marysville?
Yes, I'm a board member of the Pony Express Museum Home Station, Pony Express Home Station #1.
Okay, so now what does that mean, #1? Was this the first, or?
We say we are the first stop west of St. Joe, Missouri, where they changed riders and horses.
Okay, and basically they were carrying mail, right?
This is the purpose of why the Pony Express was started, was to get faster mail service to California, who had just come into the nation. So faster mail service was the reason.
So let me ask you something. Was there an express mail? So if I wanted it to get there, how long is it normal? How long does it normally take to get there by horse?
They advertised they would get it there in 10 days.
In 10 days. Could I get an express package and get it there in like 5 days? Or
package, no.
That'd be a fast horse, huh?
The 10 days was a lot faster than the Butterfield route, the southern route of getting mail to California.
Okay.
And this is what Russell Majors and Waddell wanted to do, was to get faster mail service to this new state that had come into Union, California.
So what was going on here then? The Pony Express riders would come here and stay and transfer.
Right.
And so you give me the mail, and we'll run a relay. I'll get on my fresh horse. I'll take off. You guys sleep and eat and get ready for the next trip.
And I'll go back to St. Joe then, right.
So was it part of the U.S. mail? Was it part of the government?
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
so this was just like the U.S. mail. It was the beginning of the U.S. mail.
Salt Lake City and then extended on into California.
Do you know what it would cost for me to send a Valentine back to California to my sweetheart?
$5.
$5 at that time was a lot of money.
Per ounce.
Per ounce. Okay, so you weren't just sending, hey, how you doing? You needed to send something like,
You
hey.
can still do that today because once a year we reenact the ride of the Pony Express.
Really? Can I still
And
do it for
you can-
$5?
You can still mail that letter and it will be carried horseback Sacramento to St. Joe, Missouri, or vice versa. Every other year it goes a different direction.
Okay, well, I am absolutely going to do that this year. When does it run?
And generally the second or third week of June. We don't know, but it depends on the phase of the moon, because going through the Sierra Nevada mountains on horseback after dark is pretty dangerous. And so they try to make the re-ride as authentic as we can and go with the full moon sometime the second or third week of June.
Well, that's an incredible part of the history of this country, to think that, you know, that was the beginning of the mail, and there was a station here. And how long have you been doing this?
I'm a newcomer here. I've only been here about 40 years.
Okay.
And then I don't know how long that they've been reenacting this mail carrying thing.
So you didn't ride the Pony Express yourself?
I like to horse around, but I don't like horses. So,
all right.
Just 15 miles down the road, though, is the first change of horses after they left here. And it's the only original log cabin still on its original foundation out in the country.
Now, when was this stop built?
In 1859.
1859, they built the stop. It was a place for the guys to rest up, have a bite to eat, transfer their mail to another team. That team takes off and keeps the mail moving, and then they'll get the next batch. And after, how long do you get of a break after you came in, you know, on that 10-day trip?
1 week.
You know, it's kind of interesting that you think about somebody actually doing that as a job. Okay, somebody had a job riding a 10-day trip from Sacramento to Kansas, and think about today. I mean, we're so soft, you know. I mean, here's a job for you. Get on a horse and take off for 10 days and carry this mail all the way through. You got bobcats and whatever else as issues on your way. And
but I think we only lost one rider to Indian attack or something. But that was a concern of the riders then, and they wanted young, skinny, wiry orphans preferred.
Yeah.
For
I don't
these
think
riders.
you and I, Charles, I don't think you and I are going to get the job.
No way. But it's a lot of fun because of reliving the history of what made America great. And
No
that
question.
is communications. Our communications have changed. And the telegraph and the railroad came in and put us out of business.
Right. And
it was much cheaper, faster to go mail service, get information to the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, Charles, I want to thank you for spending
Well,
some time with me and telling me a little bit about the Pony Express. And I'm going to get my mail in for that next run. And I'm going to send my sweetheart a Valentine.
We'll have an application for you to fill out to say that you got your $5.
Okay,
And,
all right. Is that
I'd
in
be glad
cash? Do you want that 5 in cash?
Definitely.
Well, I'd definitely like to take a look at the station, and I'll just get out there and see you out there. And
Come on down. Yeah.
I'll do that. Thank you again.
Sure enough.
All right,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yes.
Coming up next, you're going to meet the noble child of tomorrow, Grayson Kidder. She is an absolute sweetheart. I have the extreme pleasure of meeting with Grayson Kidder today. And how are you today?
Good.
Good. Good to meet you. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. You're how old?
I'm 9. I go to St. Gregory's.
What is St. Gregory's? That's your grade school? That's where you go to?
Yeah, that's my school, my
Yeah.
name of my school. I'm in 3rd grade.
3rd grade. So, so what do you like doing? What else? What goes on for you?
I like doing art. My mom was thinking about turning my room into an art room. When I grow up to be a teenager, I'm gonna be a basketball player.
Really?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be a teacher when I'm an adult.
So, when you're an adult, you're going to become a teacher.
Yeah.
What subjects would you want to teach?
Math maybe.
How old would the kids be that you're going to teach?
Probably my age.
Your age.
I kind of like 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun, huh?
Yeah.
So how about work? Do you do some work? Do you help around the house and help your mom?
Yeah, I do chores, but I don't like them.
You do chores. What kind of chores?
I do the dishwasher, clean my room, clean the living room. I set the table when it's dinner time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's always good to help around the house. You know, if you think about it, you're not an adult yet, so you don't have any bills to pay, right?
Yeah.
And because you live at home, right?
Yes.
You're not married.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. If you think about it, you get to live for free at home, right?
Yeah.
So you get free rent, free food, free toys, everything's free. So it's nice to give back a little bit and help out at home. And, you know, I'm sure your mom really appreciates you helping and, you know, taking care of things around the house. And
Yeah.
do you get paid for your chores when you do chores at home? Did your mom give you an allowance?
No, but my brother's starting to be getting allowance.
Well, what I would suggest is actually doing more work at home and asking
Yeah.
your mom, just saying, hey, if I work extra hard and I do double the work, you know, could I get, you know, a little bit of an allowance to start a savings account?
That's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Yeah. Do you like money?
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay. Well, you know, because you've got an ambition, you know, you want to go to school and you want to become a teacher. And I can tell you something right now. This country is amazing. You're blessed with living in the best country in the world. The United States of America allows everybody to have a chance to go to work hard, learn something, do whatever they want to do. So if you want to become a teacher, it's just as easy as staying in school, working hard, doing a good job, and becoming a teacher. But you might have to be saving up some money to go to school because school's expensive, so you got to save up your money to go to college.
I put a lot of my money in the save account.
You have some
Yeah.
savings account already.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna start out by giving you a little boost to your bank account. This is a $100 bill, okay? And yeah, you like money, don't you? So I want you to take this $100 bill. I want you to put it in your bank and save it. And I want you to remember me. And I want you to remember that every time you put money in your bank, you remember, Dan told me to put money in the bank and keep saving so I can go on trips and I can take myself to college and I can do great things and do whatever I want in this great country.
I will do that.
Okay, I bet you will do that.
Thank you very much. That is a lot.
Well, thank you. Well, here's your $100. I want to thank you today for spending time with me, and getting to know you has been a pleasure. And I want you to continue to do a good job at school and help your mom at home and just have fun, all right?
Thank you.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you. We're on the road with Noble Outfitters, and every week, as part of our show, we like to have a recipe of the week. And with me today, I've got Jay Furking. And Jay, you've been with Valley Vet for how long?
8 years.
8 years, and you haven't been cooking for 8 years with that's not your job here at
No,
Valley
no,
Vet.
it's
Okay. Well, after tasting your, and I'm not going to call this a chili, I'm going to call this just a home style beans, right? You know, that's not what you do as a job. I know you do other things here at Valley Vet.
Yes, that's right. My job here at Valley Vet, I'm the senior livestock sales rep. So that means I go to all the cattle shows, farm shows, just all the livestock shows in general, and represent Valley Vet.
Perfect. Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about these beans. You said there's a little bit of a family history around these beans.
Yes, that's right. Growing up, whenever we were kids at home and Mom would leave town, you know, it was up to Dad to feed us. So he just went and built this up. You know, it's got everything to make a full meal in it. And you just put it in the crock pot and turn her on and come back at night when you're done doing stuff and you have a meal.
I tell you, it's, you know, I tried it earlier and I'm going to keep on eating this. That's about my third bowl. But there's many things in here. And also, I find it just a touch sweet too.
Yeah.
Is there a little molasses or
Yeah,
a little brown sugar? Or?
It's got about half a cup of molasses and then a sweeter barbecue sauce in it.
Oh man. So there's 3 kinds of beans.
Yep.
And there's like 3 or 4 kinds of meats, you know. So you've got ground beef and homemade sausage.
Yep.
And then you've got some kielbasa sausage.
Yep.
And thick cut bacon.
Yep.
And you got pinto beans, white beans, and kidney beans.
Yep.
And onions, peppers. Man, I'm telling you, this is excellent. Did you guys ever try this eat it with cornbread and biscuits? And
Oh yeah, whatever there
whatever
was in the
there was
house.
around.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And so, you know what's great about a good pot of beans is it's so versatile, you know. It's everybody likes them. You can have a little cornbread or some biscuits, a little salad, and you've really got a full meal. And you could make something like this and also, you know, pack it up into containers and put it in the freezer, bring it out anytime. You'll be able to get this recipe and all the other recipes from On the Road with Noble Outfitters by going to nobleoutfitters.com/RFDTV and get all of our recipes and enjoy them with your families. You're on the road with Noble Outfitters. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more. We've had a great day in Marysville, Kansas. Everything here at Valley Vet Supply, from veterinary supplies to tuxedos. I'm getting myself measured up right now. Abby, how am I looking back there?
Very good.
Huh? Is this a beautiful specimen of a body? Okay, I'm gonna leave here with a beautiful tuxedo. So next week, On the Road with Noble Outfitters, you may see me dressed up a little bit differently. Or actually, maybe we're gonna start making Noble Outfitters tuxedos. Who knows? We'll see you next week On the Road with Noble Outfitters. The next time I'm in the doghouse, I know exactly where to come to keep myself warm overnight instead of having to stay outside with the dogs.